Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel, and well, this is my review for the Wrath of the Druids DLC. Now, this DLC came out way back, I believe, in February, and you might be wondering, why the hell am I reviewing it now? Well, the thing is, I didn't play it back in February. I played it very recently because I got the season pass on a discount just before the Siege of Paris came out. And so, yeah, because the season pass was so cheap, I thought, hey, I might as well go for it. And I got the Wrath of the Druids DLC, and so I thought, you know what, I bought it, so I might as well play it. And this is my review for it. But before I go any further with this, I would like to say, guys, I am really thankful for all the support. I have reached now 202 subscribers, and we are growing, and let's get to 250 while in October, I guess. Let's get to 250 before November, okay? I think we can do that. So let's try that. But anyway, back to the video. For this video at least, I'm going to start with the positive stuff. The stuff that I did like about this DLC. And the very first thing I would like to say, and this was pretty much the only thing that I liked about the DLC, was that the story itself, it was decent enough to be a standalone story. So, as you might know by now, or if you don't, then I guess I'm telling you now, the Wrath of the Druids DLC is not actually set after the events of the main game. It is set during the events of the main game. So it is essentially just a separate story arc for Eivor to go and do, and you can actually do it while you are playing the main game. So I think you need to just do the sequence 4, like the first sequence when you come to England, and then you can go ahead and you can do this DLC. You can play this DLC. And so, to that extent, I guess it's fine. It's a decent enough story. The characters were kind of good. They weren't very memorable, but I would still say the characters were good. They were much more memorable. They were much more memorable than many of the characters that were in the base game. So, good job there. And now we move on to the negatives. Now you might have seen that I didn't really spend much time with the positives. That's because, for me at least, there weren't many positives. And now we move on to all the problems that I have with this DLC. Now the first point being, this is just more of Valhalla. Now if you look at the DLC itself, it is just Valhalla but a tiny slice of it in Ireland. That's it. If you were expecting anything to do with Assassin's Creed, you will be sorely disappointed. Yes, there is sort of a Isu artifact reveal near the end. I'm not going to spoil it, which, by the way, it's on my channel, so you can go watch that. But there was kind of a thing going on there, but it was just so forced into the story, and it just... Yes, there was slight foreshadowing, but it was mostly just forced into the story, just so that, you know, they can go and say, Hey, look at us! We are still making Assassin's Creed, guys. This has got to do with Assassin's Creed, you know. You know the gods and the Isus and the stuff. Hey, we have those. We still have those. Don't worry, don't leave us. It just feels like a desperate attempt to still somehow link it to Assassin's Creed, rather than it being actively a part of Assassin's Creed. And that is even worse. Like, if you want to make a standalone story, make a standalone story. Don't try to force the Assassin's Creed elements where they clearly don't belong. And well, if you were planning to find assassins in here, double whammy, because there aren't any. Unless you were wearing Basim's robe for most of the story, then I guess there was at least a slight hint of an assassin. That's what I did, because, you know, ever since Basim's robe was added in, that's what I've been wearing, because why the hell would I not? Like, I want to play an Assassin's Creed game, and hell, if you're not going to give me one, at least I'm going to pretend that I'm playing an Assassin's Creed game. Okay, that's going off topic. And well, it's even worse when you think that when in the main game, in the base game, when you go into one of these bureaus, and I shouldn't say bureau, it was one of the Order of the Ancients branch, you discover a letter which essentially says that there are two different branches of the Order of the Ancients in Ireland and in France. And that really got me hyped up for the DLC a bit, because suddenly, hey, maybe okay, we don't have assassins, but at least we have the Templars. Maybe we learn more about the Templars. A part of me thought that these DLCs were going to be set after the events of the main game, and we will finally see Eivor maybe expanding her presence in the Templar Order, or maybe she is the one who actually gave birth to the Templar Order. She was the founding member of the Templar Order along with Alfred. Maybe that could have been the case, but clearly we are not going to get that, especially with what we have seen so far. And so I was severely disappointed, to say the least. And to add to that fact, I've mentioned before that this story takes place while the main game is still going. And now that is fine, I guess, but that also means that the whole character progression that Eivor had throughout the main game, that she changed her beliefs, that she, basically helped start the Templar Order. Like, yeah, she didn't know what she was doing. She was trying to help out Hytham and Basim, but she was responsible for the creation of the Templar Order, directly or indirectly. And all of that character progression is just gone because none of that has happened. And I really wanted to see the Eivor that we now know at the end of the game, after all the events of the main game, to be in that DLC, and I didn't get that. Now, that's a minor gripe for me, but again, that's one more thing that adds up to the pile of in the issues pile of this DLC. Like, I did not like that. I would much rather have had that Eivor, the developed Eivor, the wise Eivor, but we didn't get that. Now, as far as the gameplay is concerned, the gameplay is pretty much the same as Valhalla, the base game of Valhalla. They made absolutely no improvements whatsoever. But hey, they did throw in the pigeon coops, which once again, a desperate attempt to somewhat link to Assassin's Creed, even though it has got absolutely nothing to do with Assassin's Creed. The pigeon coops in this game have got nothing to do with the assassins. It's basically a glorified Easter egg. And even worse than that, they expose Valhalla's already broken stealth system even more. Like, the stealth system in Valhalla is pretty much broken, but in the main game, when you go into a camp, you get detected, you're like, yeah, that's fine, it's Valhalla, it happens. And before you come at me and say that, oh, you should get better, well, guess what? I did get better at this game. I made 2 stealth runs. I went through 2 entire camps without getting detected. I got the gold medals in the mastery challenges without getting detected. So don't come after me and say that I don't know how to play the game. This game is broken. And as I said, this game was even further exposed. The brokenness of this game was further exposed thanks to these pigeon coops. So good job there, Ubisoft. You just shot yourself in the foot. Now, overall, what do I think of this DLC? I would say this is bang average. Like, yeah, the story is kind of good. The characters are kind of good. The gameplay is crap as always. But so overall, I guess this is bang average. And which at this point, this is very high praise considering that this was made by Ubisoft. Like, I expect them to be making absolute shit decisions. They should be at the bottom of the pile. But they are not at the bottom, they are kind of just hanging around in the middle now. So I guess huge praise to Ubisoft for not making the shittiest possible game and the shittiest possible DLC. So good job there. Like, it really pains me to say this, given that I really do love Ubisoft. I like their games, and as I've said before, I worked there, so there's that as well. And I want them to succeed, but clearly they don't want to succeed, so whatever. Just keep making stupid ass decisions, keep releasing your stupid DLCs, keep releasing your broken ass games, and you know what? Keep releasing your containment trailers that no one is going to play because it's honestly a crappy ass game. Like, that event barely made sense in Rainbow Six Siege. It was a good event, but that's what it was, an event. But anyway, I am going off topic again. Well, that's my review for this DLC. I'm not going to give it a score because after all, at the end of the day, this is just a DLC. So there's that. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, then consider pressing that like button. And once again, do subscribe to my channel for more content. I know this was kind of a negative review. The Siege of Paris DLC is going to have a slightly more positive review because so far I'm enjoying it. And once again, I would just like to stress on the fact that thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Like 202 subscribers. It ain't a joke because who would have thought I would have gotten there and gotten here so quickly. And once again, thank you guys. And all that said, I will leave you guys in peace.